Sedans versus SUVs. Well, that's not new at MotorBeam because we've done it before. Jeep Compass versus Honda Civic. And what we are doing today, we have already done it a few years back when we compared the Honda City facelift with the Hyundai Creta facelift. Because both these cars cost around the same price. And a lot of you keep asking which one should you buy. That's the reason why we are pitting the second generation Hyundai Creta with the fifth generation Honda City to tell you if the premium over the City for the Creta is worth it, or if the premium for the City over other sedans in the segment is worth it. Now, of course, here at MotorBeam, we have already done a comparison of the City with the Verna, and that's the reason we are going to do something different today. But before I get going, make sure to hit that like button. Why hit it? Just smash it, break it. But make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon as well. Let's get going right away. Here's a fun fact. Both these models are actually the mainstay models for both the brands in the Indian market, which means that the Creta is the top selling Hyundai car in India and the City is the top selling Honda car in India. Now, they might not be selling the most for the respective brands, but yes, they are the most popular. When you say Hyundai, it's Creta. When you say Honda, it's City. And as you can see, the design language of both these cars is inspired by their flagships. The Creta by the Palisade, the City by the Accord. And in terms of aesthetic appeal, earlier we thought that the Creta looks polarizing, but the design has grown on you with time. The City, of course, is a very slick looking sedan, and at the end of the day, all that matters is what you personally like. The high riding Creta or the low slung Honda City. But that doesn't take away from the fact that there are a lot of premium bits on both these cars. And in terms of wheels, particularly the turbo versus the one on the City CVT, I like the ones here, the diamond cut. This car could have done with the ones on the diesel, which of course look more flamboyant, dare I say it, rather sexy. But yes, this design language is something new, it's different. The City is more conventional. And at the rear, well, let's get to the rear and talk about that. Like I was telling you, at the rear, there's no denying the fact that both cars do have a lot of appeal. There's no polarizing element here for the Creta, at least at the rear. However, the BMW inspired lights on the City do look good, but the Creta somehow looks more sporty. You have the turbo badging, you have dual exhausts as well. And for this comparison, we went a bit off-road. So yes, it's got a little bit of muck around, signifying it's more capable than the City. Any which ways, the good part is that the City is actually a longer car. Meanwhile, the Creta, although shorter in terms of length, it is taller. So yes, it does have more road presence without a doubt. Step inside and you realize that the City has taken the premium appeal further. It's not that the Creta is any less, because plenty of features on offer there as well. But in the City, there are less hard touch plastics. Yes, it does have a lot of hard touch plastics, and the Creta has even more. The only thing is Honda has done a good job by putting a lot of soft touch materials on the door pad as well as on the dashboard, which somehow doesn't really hit your eye because it's not very shiny. Meanwhile, in terms of rear seat space, the City has a slight edge because the front seats are slimmer, so it's got more space overall. And of course, the cabin also has the same premium appeal as of the Creta. The Creta belonging to a different segment, a slightly higher price as well. That said, Honda doesn't offer adjustable headrest and the floor is almost flat. So it does offer the better rear seat experience, mostly because the recline angle of the seat is just better. Meanwhile, in the Creta, you can actually adjust the recline angle as well. But the turbo model, which we're testing today, gets an all black interior. Yeah, it doesn't feel that airy. However, it gets a massive panoramic sunroof, which brings in a lot of light inside the cabin. But Honda gives you a nice request sensor on both the sides. Hyundai only gives you one. Which means that in terms of features, there's not much to differentiate between the cars. Obviously, Hyundai offers way more features here. And both these cars also come with connected car tech. As soon as you get inside the Creta, you realize a lot of positive bits, because some of the equipment, you can see it right away. Like, it's got ventilated front seats, it's got an air purifier, it's got the better infotainment system, it's got a driver rear view monitor, it's got pillows on the rear headrest, and I can go on and on because that's the amount of additional features which Hyundai offers in the new Creta. But a small touch in the city is the fact that you can just press any power window, it auto rolls down, it auto rolls up as well. But the Creta gets an electronic parking brake. We all know that Honda's VTEC motor is an absolute gem. Without a doubt, it continues to be a gem. However, with the CVT gearbox, things aren't as bright because firstly, there's that rubber band effect. And in terms of gearbox, there's no denying the fact that the one on the Creta is just better. It's a dual clutch unit. It's a 7-speed DCT. This is a 7-step CVT. It just doesn't have the feel. It actually bogs down the otherwise brilliant engine here. However, there's no denying the fact that the steering obviously offers more feel and feedback when compared to the Creta. The Creta obviously has more comfort on offer, it has a softer suspension, it's just more compliant, and the difference doesn't end there. The Creta is also easier to drive because of the lighter steering at lower speeds. So if you like driving, you'll love the City. If you like comfort, you will love the Creta. But now the Creta is having a little bit of sportiness as well thanks to that brilliant turbo petrol engine. That engine is so good, it's so good, and I think we need to shift into that car right away. I never knew I would say this, but it happens to be Hyundai's turbo petrol engine, which is more refined when compared to Honda's VTEC. Alright, there's no denying the fact that the VTEC has a proper soul. It redlines all the way till 7,100 RPM. The Creta turbo obviously doesn't go all the way till there, but it's just somehow quicker. It's more responsive thanks to turbo, and the gearbox is what really makes a big difference here. You get paddle shifters, which is also there in the City, so not much to differentiate there, but you also get a Triptronic function on the gear lever, which is not the case with the City. Around the corners, yes, there's more body roll, obviously there's more mass, there's more height, and in that sense the City feels better contained around the corners, but grip levels are just so much better on the Creta. And you've got these multiple drive modes, you've got terrain modes as well, so Hyundai's thrown everything and the kitchen sink in the new Creta. There's no denying the fact that in terms of features, you win some, you lose some. Like the City also gets something known as lane watch, which is extremely helpful. The lights on this car are full LEDs. These are not full LEDs because the fog lamp is still a halogen unit. But overall, yes, the Creta has more features which are more useful here. It's a more practical car. It also has driving modes. So without a doubt, the Creta justifies the slight premium you pay over the new Honda City. However, that said, if you're a person who likes driving, the City is more fun, but the CVT variant is not the one to opt for. The manual will keep you really happy. All Honda needs to do right now is get the City RS in India, because that's a car with a turbo engine which can put a bigger smile on your face if you're looking for an automatic Honda City. There you have it, guys. It all depends on your preferences. For me personally, between these two, I would choose the Creta. But overall, if I had to choose a car, I would prefer the City manual because it's more sporty to drive, and as they say, stick shift for the win. Now, of course, if Hyundai launches the Creta Turbo with a manual gearbox, which is available with the Kia Seltos, things could be a bit different, but enough of ifs and thens. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.